I want you to see the deck at times. Again, would you please say any card you like? Free choice.
10 of clubs.
The 10 of clubs.
Yeah.
Okay, now watch this. What you're going to see is going to look like camera tricks, but this is live and happening for real. Okay? No editing, no special effects. Watch. And I swear, this is a regular deck, and this is the moment my friend experienced when he didn't have his invisible deck with him.
What?
One card reverses itself, the only card, and that would be the 10 of clubs.
Wow.
So that's what came up with a regular deck.
This is a regular deck, right?
This is a regular deck. This is a regular deck. If you ever meet me in person, you can hand me any brand new deck of cards straight from the box, out of the package, and I can perform this.
Wow. I mean, I really love the effect which you perform the regular deck. I mean, that's really amazing. That's really amazing. I'm kind of like fooled by that, you know, really. Yeah. So let me ask you one thing. This was something which I was actually going to ask you in the beginning, but the way you went, you know, by talking in a very entertaining way, I didn't want to interrupt you in your talking because, you know, I was loving the way you present the ideas and concepts. That's why I didn't interrupt you in the beginning. So what's your, because see, for every professional magicians, for every great performers, they have their own philosophy about magic, because you actually mentioned about Mike Lummer that he said me this thing, right? So like that, many other great performers have their own philosophy about magic. So what's your philosophy about magic?
My philosophy of magic is that magic has more potential and fewer boundaries than any other performing art style. Now, it's not to put down figure skating, singing, dancing, juggling, comedy, whatnot. I'm just saying that magic is different and unique. Okay, a comedian makes people laugh. If he can also sing, dance, do acrobatic jumps, or play a violin, or skate around on rollerblades while he makes people laugh, those are additional elements of dressing. But he's essentially still making people laugh. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mr. Bean made people laugh without the spoken word. There are other performers who rely on the spoken word, but they're still doing the same thing. They're making people laugh. Comedy movies make people laugh. Okay. Horror movies or scary series or books or videos creep people out, scare people. Now, it doesn't matter what they scare people with, giant spiders, aliens, zombies, what you want. On the fundamental level, they have to make people, comedies make people go, ha ha ha. Scary movies or series make people go, whoa, oh, that's the function. Okay. Romantic movies make people feel this beautiful, warm, fuzzy feeling of love by watching love. And of course, as you know, most Bollywood movies revolve around, the storylines revolve around love, family love, falling in love. And it doesn't matter if it's Titanic, where there's a class difference, where the Leonardo DiCaprio's character has to fight to win the love of an upper class girl who he normally is not allowed to talk to. It doesn't matter if it's the love between brothers or colleagues in 300 or Gladiator. You can change the setting, where it happens, how it happens, why, but there has to be this love and appreciation of love that happens in order to make people feel. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, a tennis player has to play tennis. Or in your part of the world, cricket player, whatever. A musician, it doesn't matter if it's a guitar, a piano, a violin, has to play music. A singer has to show vocals. A dancer has to move. Okay? What does a magician do? Then the moment you try to start to define it, or even look at examples of acts that have been masterpieces up until now, then you sort of realize that the rules are wider. We can be scary. We can be funny. We can be feel good romantic. We can be, in my personal, the way I try to present myself, sort of motivational, making people believe in themselves, in the goodness of mankind, in human potential, and not giving up. Okay. You can take fantastic performers like a Paul Gertner or a Richard Turner, where they're simply showing off pure skill. What can they do with a deck of cards or a set of cups and balls with metal ball bearings that you can't explain? That's fine. Other magicians create a sense of wonder. Others will some are scary. And not only that, so that's the end product. We have fewer rules, okay? Now, how to get there is even more wide open. How do you become a great football player or cricket player or basketball player? There's only one way to do it. It's a straight line. If you want to become a great dancer, a great piano player, a great singer, a great juggler, there's one way to do it. You cannot be ranked among the greatest violin players by being good at video games or being good at badminton or being good at something. You have to be good at that particular thing. In magic, you can be a talker and convince people and become a great mentalist. You can be a dancer of any style. Although usually I would, in my opinion, classically trained ballet. You can be a great grand illusionist. You can just be a good-looking guy and learn the right moves here with your hands and become a great manipulator. You can be, because I think he's fantastic, I think he's great. You can be sort of a common, skinnier than average, not exactly the most, what you would cast as a television male lead, sort of standoffish, but okay, look at this. And you've got a dynamo. You see what I'm saying? You can take this unlikely combination. If nobody had ever seen me before, to take me as an example, and were to just describe me to the average North American, European, British, Indian, I don't know, and just describe on paper this guy who looks East Asian. Actually, a lot of people in photos say he looks like Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, yeah.
He sort of talks like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and he's got this sort of yo bro over the top alpha personality, and we say, hang on, did you say East Asian? It doesn't make sense until you show them a Ryan Hayashi video. You know what I mean? So how we get there? Some guys get there with a deck of cards and nothing else, and become great magicians. Some guys need nothing else but a handful of coins that are in their pocket. Other guys, because they're in different fields of magic, they can be manipulators, grand illusionists. Maybe they can't entertain directly in the same room, close up, a group of 2 or 3 people with a coin or a deck of cards, but you bring in their trucks, you set up their grand illusion or their manipulation act, and bam! So what the work behind it and the ways to get there, we have so many different diverse fields of magic that there's the sky's the limit in terms of creativity. That's what I want to say. Yeah. Having said that, I would add one thing. If you think worldwide of the number of people, especially since we've got this Got Talent culture, the number of people worldwide who would say, I'm a musician, I'm a singer, I'm a dancer, is huge. 90% of them are usually not very good. You would have to look at 100 of them to get 10 of them that are kind of okay, and you would say, now there's a singer, there's a dancer, there's a whatever you want. And then out of those 10, you get one that is good enough that you would say, okay, he or she sounds like a professional singer, moves like a professional dancer, or performs magic at a professional level where most people would say, wow, There's a professional magician. But that's not bad. There are different levels in singing, dancing, music, and magic. There are hobbyists. There are guys who learn 1 or 2 card tricks and can't remember a month later how to do them, or a year later how to do them, or who do them and show them to friends, and it never works. It's not necessarily a bad thing. But if we want to talk about professional magicians, then this is where, just like every other field, just like professional singers, dancers, musicians, professional magicians who want to take their magic to the next level have to pay attention to the very important arts of theater presentation. If it's stage acts, movement and dance, stage presence. If there's spoken numbers, close-up or stage, charisma, voice training, speech, script writing. So there's more involved than just this. And I'll give one little example. I know we're going over time, but if you're okay, I could give it an example.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you don't have a problem with the explaining it, no problem. You can go on. But
No,
that's
I'm fine. Because I know you were hoping for about an hour talk, and I love talking about magic. As you can see, this is my passion. I remember one time I was out, I think in 2001 or 2. This is 18, 19 years ago. I went out to a club, and I started jamming just with a group of friends some card magic. I got some great reactions because when the club music is loud, I don't even try to speak. I don't yell, "Hey, listen, I want you to take a card, show your friend." No, then I switch into pantomime and I just go, "Oh." And I don't speak. And then one guy loved what I was doing. It was a friend of a friend. I just met him that night, and he was like, "Oh, yeah!" And he said, "Here." And I thought, "Oh, here we go. This guy knows something. He's going to show a magic trick." And he was just one of those funny, charismatic guys. He said, and he brought all the girls a little closer, and he picked one. He said, "Here." And he had a girl pick a card. And the way he started, I thought to myself, this guy just looks and feels so solid. This is going to be awesome. And he, show the others. And he genuinely looked away, and she showed whatever card he pulled. And then he fanned out the card and did this. He said, So she, no, which, yeah, and she did it. She went like this. That was his trick. The 2 guys sitting next to me, they said, that has got to be the worst magic I've ever seen. That's the weakest thing. But he didn't take it seriously. He made a joke out of it. And I said, I disagree with you. This is the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. This guy's awesome.
Yeah.
So everything's relative. But there's a certain amount of stage presence, understanding of performance and presentation, theater, script writing, and charisma that is involved in taking magic to the next level. That's the real magic. Exactly. Understanding moves and techniques, that's the ABCs. Understanding a few tricks or routines, that's being able to read a page. But being able to take the vocabulary and construct acts that fit you and show your personality and build shows around that involves an understanding of performance, theater, and script writing.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, that's completely true though. And I have actually 2 more questions about you regarding, because you appeared on Penetral Fullers on 2018. So I want to know about the after that life, after appearing on Penetral Fullers, your life got changed, right? You were invited to Magic Castle for performing, and your life actually, you got more fame than before, if I am correct, right?
No, not really. Within the European magic scene, I was famous in 2004, 5, and 6. The only difference is because of my genetics, I'm aging well. The average person who doesn't know me, when they meet me, they think I'm 30, 32. And if I'm just hanging out with some younger friends and I got the right shirt on, they may even say 28. You see what I'm saying? If they see me in a club or at a party. So this gave me an extra 20 years to still be performing.
Oh, okay.
So I was known in 2004, 2005, 2006. What's the difference? In 2004, 5, and 6, nobody had a smartphone. The planet's first smartphone, the iPhone, which wasn't called iPhone 1 at the time, it was just called iPhone, came out in 2007 when I was already established. And when did we have social media? It wasn't 2007. It came after we had the devices that we could all access social media with. We're talking 2010, 11, 12. So 2018 just allowed a newer next generation of people like yourself to see me do magic.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Because after 2000, when you moved to Germany, you already established yourself as a magician. I didn't mean that. Yeah. I didn't mean that you established yourself as a magician after 2018, because I know the fact that, sorry if you actually took it in a wrong way. What I meant is that from 2004, 2006 onwards, you already established yourself as a magician. But I believe after the Penn and Teller Foolers and after you appeared on Britain's Got Talent, I think which was on 10 years before, where you performed the samurai sword act, with blindfold, right? I think from that time onwards, you got more fame. And I believe what I mean is here in India, I think after you appeared on Britain's Got Talent and after you appeared on Penn and Teller Foolers, people know you more than before in 2004, I believe.
People now currently know me most from Penn and Teller Foolers.
Yeah.
So yes, definitely, because this was my most recent television exposure. That's what people know me for. Since then, I did in 2020. It was aired in, when was it? April, I think. During the lockdown, I did Romania's Got Talent. End of March was planned my recording for another country's Got Talent, which unfortunately got canceled due to the corona worldwide pandemic. But you're right. People know what they see.
Yeah.
So they've seen me on Fool Us, and that's what I'm currently most known for. It's true.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, sorry if I took it in wrong way. I know the fact that, see, you were really great back in the 2000. I mean, after 2000 onwards, when you started, because you won the international competitions in 2003 or 2008. I mean, that period, right?
Yes.
So you were already great in that time. What I meant is that you got much more fame than before after you appeared on Britain's Got Talent and that Penn and Teller Foolers. And I actually missed the question I was going to ask, because what I was going to ask is that your life actually, got little more fame after you appeared on Penn and Teller Foolers. But I heard and I believe that, because I heard you saying on Penn and Teller Foolers that it took 12 years for you to develop or create that ultimate matrix act, right?
Correct. My Ultimate Matrix Act I created between 2004 and 2016.
Yeah. So what I was going to ask you is this: what was the creative process for coming up with that act?
Oh wow! I'd be happy to tell you, but this is going over time.
I'm totally fine. If you don't have a problem, we can continue. Otherwise, we can just.
Yeah, no,
I don't have any problem.
I'll explain then. I saw Matrix work by David Roth, but on 90s VHS tapes. Dean Dill, who were two of my early influences. I became friends in 1998 when I was living in Tokyo, Japan. I became friends with a young magician who was close to my same age. My first friend in magic, my oldest friend in magic, his name is Shoot Ogawa.
Okay.
So we jammed. I learned a lot from him. He was technically further developed than I was. And he did a lot of coin and matrix work, so this influenced me as well. And then in 2003, another coin magician by the name of Armando Lucero had a lot of people in Europe talking about his beautiful matrix. He showcased it in the city of The Hague in the Netherlands, Holland, at the FISM World Championships convention. Didn't compete, but just jammed this act over and over again, and everyone was talking about it. It was a highlight of the convention. I met him in 2003 at the the Macmillan International Convention in London, England, and because everyone was talking about him, I said, "Oh, I've been hearing about your Matrix." He said, "Yeah, would you like to see it?" It was kind enough to just perform it for me and a handful of other guys. There were 10 guys sitting around a table in a hotel lobby, and it blew me away. It was literally, at that point in my life in 2003, the most beautiful Matrix I had seen to that point.
Okay.
And it inspired me. I just went into a deep rabbit hole. I began researching methods, researching existing routines by other artists, deconstructing what can be done with 4 cards, 4 coins, and developed my own routine. Which now, if you compare it with Armando Lucero's, I feel my Ultimate Matrix looks different. It uses completely different methodology. The phases look different. Actually, in all modesty, I feel my Ultimate Matrix looks clearly different than any other existing matrix there is.
That's true. Yeah.
For me, the most beautiful and visual matrix is not my own. It would be Will Tsai, which he featured on America's Got Talent. But I can do mine impromptu, unprepared. I can walk up to any table, lay down my mat, and just do it. I have to watch the angles, but I do not need
any gimmicks. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not lighting issues as well.
Yes. So I developed it. I competed with it in 2004, 2005. I even won a few prizes. I competed it for the third year, 2006, at the FISM World Championships in Stockholm, Sweden. It was my first time at the FISM World Championships. Ranked eighth with that, not in the top 3, but apparently people found the hands nice. The music I was using in those days was 90s trance. Had nothing to do with me, my personality, or the matrix, or the coins. And I had no other script other than, hey guys, look at this. Watch, 4 coins in a square, boom, just did it. Watch, I'll do it with one hand. I'll do it with less cards. I was stating the obvious with straight narrative. I didn't have a better script because my script writing skills were not developed beyond that point. People would say I had a fairly good speaking voice on a microphone. The way I projected was okay, but what I was saying was superfluous, useless, just observations. So then I competed again with it in 2007 in the US at the SAM, Society of American Magicians, won a second. And then I switched to work on another competition act starting in 2008, 9, and 10. And then what happened was I had a talk with my brother in Canada in the year 2015. At this point, the act was 11 years old, I remember. I'd still been performing it again and again because it didn't require mechanics or special gimmicks or setup. I could walk up to any table in any room and just do it. Angles, yes, but light didn't matter. My coins, and so I performed it quite a lot in those 11 years. I wanted to compete again potentially at the 2018 World Championships, but by that point I realized I have to up my game. I need to raise my level. So I asked my brother, who's only a year younger than me, who studied 2 different degrees. His first degree in Toronto, Canada was television arts. His second one, he did a degree in film and then worked for 20 years in television production, and also taught some courses at the University of Toronto on film screenplay writing, how to write a screenplay. I asked him in 2015, you know that coin trick I do? Yeah, with the 4 coins in a square and they jump from here to there. Can you teach me how to do storytelling? How would I write a script around that act? And he would say, well, what's the premise of the old version? Yeah, I'm laying 4 coins in a square and they jump around. He said, well, that's not very much to go on. And then he taught me, I'm paraphrasing now, I can't remember his exact words, but the way I remember it, he taught me 4 fundamental rules of script writing, which is what I followed. First, it needs a beginning, a middle, and an end. The beginning has a particular function. It tells us what is to come. The middle, something happens. And the end, if it's a good ending, people will applause and feel emotional closure before the credits roll and before you say, and that's the end of the act, ladies and gentlemen. They'll know. If you can accomplish that they begin to applause before you do an applause cue, you've got it. So three-part, beginning, middle, and end. Second rule, the protagonist, now he's thinking in terms of writing a television episode for a series or a movie. The protagonist wants something. He wants to achieve something, have something, do something, win something, but there are problems in the way that he has to overcome to make it happen. He has to overcome hurdles or hindrances. E.T., if you're familiar with it, his ship crashed. He had no radio way to contact his home planet. He had to call home. How to do that? It took the whole movie for him to make it work. Indiana Jones wants the golden statue, but there's flying poisonous darts. How does he accomplish this? Okay, and so on and so forth. Harry Potter in the Harry Potter series wants to survive because Voldemort, the Dark Lord, wants him dead. Okay, yeah. So the hero wants something, but there are problems in the way to him achieving it. The third rule was that if your protagonist or the hero of the story can have a change of heart, then you're going to have people feel something. So at the beginning of E.T., E.T. was afraid of humans. He doesn't know if we're hostile. By the end, he makes friends with them. They're children, but it's those friends that radio home and get the mothership to come pick him up. Okay. Rose, the redhead snobby girl in the Titanic movie. At first, she looks down upon second-class ticket holders because she comes from a fine, rich, upper-class family, and by the end, she's fighting to save Leonardo DiCaprio as they're floating in the ice water. So a change of heart. And the third one, and my brother said, here's the big one. If you can get this, people will feel like they're watching a movie and feeling a story. And this fourth rule was, if you can capture an idea or some sort of a message that is universal, that people can relate to, that is deeper than the surface or child level, then it's got more substance. For example, if you show the Harry Potter movies to a young 6-year-old and ask him what was the story, he'll say Harry went to Hogwarts and learned magic. If we analyze it, it's a story about the Death Eaters, pure blood wizards who don't want to share their culture, their space, their magic, or even their bloodlines with the Muggles to make half-bloods or mixed children. It's about racial purity, bloodlines. Okay. It's about the survival of an older culture that doesn't want to adopt. Okay, if you look at E.T., the 6-year-old's going to say, yeah, E.T. phoned home and then his friends came and picked him up. Yeah, but it's really a story about xenophobia, a fear of an unknown culture. Titanic, the 6-year-old's going to say the ship sank in the water. What's it really about? Class division. You see what I'm saying? So my brother fed this to me. I spent half a year just thinking, how can I capture this in a script? And I wrote a script around the Matrix Act, which I called The Karate Kid. And when I called my brother in Canada and presented to him, he said, there it is right there. Produce that act. You've got it. The storyline was that I'm playing myself. I'm playing a former magician who has retired from magic, which is true. Starting in 2012, I was performing less, not going to conventions, and I opened a karate school. I opened a dojo. Uh-huh. And I was just taking a time out from magic. And one boy he was 11 years old at the time, in one of my karate students, found my older YouTube videos, one of them was The Matrix, and asked me if I could teach him how to do this. And here, for theatrical reasons, I amplify it a little bit. So the storyline is, you probably don't know my Karate Kid act. It begins within this setting of we're training together. You can hear a hall full of people. Let's go, don't give up. Johnny, eye contact. Keep your guard up. Don't look down. Here we go. Each, shom, 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 ni, shom, 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 kiai, cha. Very good. Johnny, What is the first fundamental rule of traditional karate? And then this is little boy's voice, played by Johnny himself. The goal of training is to develop your character. Very good. Traditions can only live as long as they are passed on to the next generation. That's all for today, class. Thank you. Whoosh! And the sound of people going out. Master Hayashi? Yes, Johnny. In YouTube, I saw this thing you do with the 4 coins. I'd really like to learn that. Can you teach it to me? No, Johnny, I don't do that anymore. Oh, why not? I haven't trained that act in years since I gave up magic. I probably couldn't even perform it anymore. Oh, that's too bad. Oh, well, have a nice weekend. Bye. Sounds of him walking away, door closes. And then the music turns emotional. And I'm watching him leave, and I think, oh. And there's just a 1 second pause of, oh, where you read in my eyes, that wasn't okay. You know, that's not, what did I just do to that kid? He had this spark of enthusiasm of wanting to learn magic, and I said no. I sit down at my desk. I've got an open calendar and a couple of books, which I move to the side, which explains where is this table in the universe. It's in my karate studio, and that's in my office. And I come across a little box. I do this to show that I haven't seen this in years. I open it up, 4 cards and 4 coins are inside. I check just to make sure everyone's left the building, and I start jamming with them myself, and it doesn't work anymore. I put them in at 4 in a square, and they jump, and I can't explain it myself. And then it takes me a few phases to master it, and then you can feel the moment where, all right, and then I'm back in again because I'm remembering, and then I can perform it again. And the last phase is the only one that works. And then I just take it and I put it back in the box. And then the sound of people coming in again, and then I say, Johnny? Yes, master. Why do you want to learn the magic? When I watch it, I feel like everything is possible, and I want to make the magic happen. Okay, Johnny. And I produce just 1 coin like an uncle would behind your ear. Okay, Johnny. Let's make it happen. Yes! Yay! Does that mean you're going to teach me magic? Yes, Johnny, I'll teach you, but you're going to have to train a lot. And then it's a handover. And my brother on the phone from Canada, he said, there's your script. Because he thinks in television visuals, he said, whatever you're using in this act, those cards and coins, put them in a little box that fits in your hand. Get on one knee when you're talking to this cute little kid who's not there. He's just a recorded voice. And have this box in front of you because that symbolizes a handing over of your life's experience and your life's knowledge. It's your way of saying it's yours now. It belongs to you. You wanted it. I give it to you. The magic's yours. Now let's see what you can do with it. And it got great reactions. It won the 2016 German National Championships, the FIS and FISM 2017 European Championships held in Blackpool, England. And then I competed with it in 2018. It didn't score very high. It got 8th as well. Eric Chen won, obviously. But at least I found out. I also performed this in a convention called the 4F in the United States, and the Americans loved it, found it very touching and emotional. So apparently the British, the Americans, and Europeans, on average, the Germans, liked this script presentation. The Asians, not so much. The East Asians, yeah.
Okay.
I know why, but that was how this act was born. And then when the producers of Penn and Teller Fool Us contacted me to do the show Penn and Teller Fool Us, I said, yes. Are you serious? I've just watched this series myself for the last 4 seasons. I'm a fan. Count me in. I'll do what you want. I'll dance on the table in a bikini. I'll give you what you want. They said we want this Matrix thing, and I went into my pitching this, and they said, no, we don't want you dressed like Mr. Miyagi because I had the samurai outfit on. Oh, but it's beautiful, the music. No music. You're just going to be talking. Oh, well, okay. And scrap the storyline. They gave me these parameters. They said, you're just a guy, Western clothing, no costumes, no music, no storytelling. We want you presenting what's happening with 4 cards, 4 coins. And then I wrote that specific Fool Us presentation for Fool Us.
Okay, that's interesting.
because they gave me the parameters. You're a guy presenting your magic with 4 cards and 4 coins. So, given those parameters, I wrote the best script I could.
I believe you had only a short time for that script, right?
No. I spent months on writing that script.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, no, actually, you said me that you actually changed the script for Pen and Teller Foolers, right?
I wrote that script. I think it was within a 4-month period. So by the time I showed up for rehearsal, the internet recording they saw from 2012 was with a lazy script. Hey guys, watch this. Look, watch the chords. Did you see it? Look. I went beyond that and I presented the Fool Us version that you saw on Fool Us. It was better structured. It had a lot more message, a lot more emotional content, a lot more feeling to it. Yeah.
So, like, how was the experience of winning Pen and Teller Foolers?
It was an honor. I just feel, for me as a magician, as a performer, all of the universe's forces came in line for those 10 minutes of stage time and screen time, and I had just this masterpiece moment where everything worked and felt and just resonated, and I'm happy it got captured on camera.
You know, it was because there is a phrase I believe it's like this. Okay, picture has like 100 words or the different meanings, but a video or a video will have more thousands of meanings. I mean, thousands of emotions.
Correct.
Because, So I was enjoying a lot by seeing your face started to change when Pen told this. When Pen said this thing, right? We finally gave up. And we started to enjoying your performance. That's where you started to realize, okay, well, I'm gonna
laugh.
Yeah, and when they say that you fooled us, you were like shouting and screaming. You're enjoying a lot. I mean, yeah.
I was just ecstatically happy. It was just, it was pure joy, and I'm grateful that moment got captured on camera.
Yeah, exactly. And after the Pen and Teller Foolers, after winning that, you were invited to perform on Magic Castle. So what's the procedure? So what's the procedure of performing at Magic Castle? Because is it like we had to win FISM or we had to full Pen and Teller for performing at Magic Castle?
No. Magic Castle has its own casting director. You don't have to win a World Championships or a television show like Penn and Teller. It was my second time performing at Magic Castle. My first time, and this is before your generation, was in 2005, 15 years ago. So I performed at the Magic Castle in 2005. It was fantastic. I thought it was a one-time in a lifetime situation, but enough members within the Magic Castle membership, because it's a private club, enjoyed my Fool Us segment. And what we had in 2018, which again we didn't have in 2005, social media. They would write me on my smartphone over Facebook and say, "Hey, bro, amazing work. Thanks. Loved your segment. Thanks. Loved your segment. I'm a member of the Magic Castle. I should talk to the casting director, get you over here. Thanks, and let's talk."
Yeah.
That's your name, and I would really appreciate it. Yeah, casting director, here's his name. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to say that you'd like to come in, and I'm going to give you his cell number and give you him your cell number, and you guys need to talk. And it went from there. Yeah. Wow. So Fool Us brought me back to the Magic Castle. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So anyway, with that said, I think we covered a lot. I mean, we started from the beginning of your career and we ended up on that Pen and Teller Foolers, which happened in 2018. So one more question left, and with that question, we can end the session. So the last question which I want to ask you is that I heard that you and some of your magic friends are doing an initiative called Help for Heroes for charity, right?
Yes. The Help for Heroes.
Tell us about that.
This is a group of British magicians. The team was put together by Edward Ascombe Spencer. He's a British magician from England. And we've done 3 different shows so far in 3 different cities. And when we finally all come out of this very difficult coronavirus situation, everyone in the entertainment business worldwide will suffer. Singers, dancers, live bands, DJs, catering, what you want, including magicians, including comedians. We'll see what's possible, but our hope before this pandemic hit, our plan was to continue to tour in different cities in the UK, and potentially even some other countries outside of Great Britain, and do different European cities as a touring team of magicians.
That's great. I mean, that's a great initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So thank you so much for sharing your valuable time with us on our channel. You talked a lot. I mean, you said many stuffs which is going to really help the magicians out here, not only in India, but even from abroad. If people are watching this, it's going to be super fun interview, because it was not like, I didn't feel like a formal interview, because you were talking so casually, and in a very, you were being you, because you didn't change your personality, or you didn't be like serious. You were being you, and I really loved that. So thanks for spending your valuable time with me. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
My
you for
honor.
the talk, Bharat. It was a
My
pleasure.
honor. Thank you.